I'm really excited to see so many passionate individuals here tonight. Whether you're already part of a mentorship program or you're looking to join one, mentorship is a really important way and a powerful tool for creating change and fostering growth and building connections in Virginia. And countless young people are waiting for someone to guide and support them through their lives. And like the ones you hear from tonight, some of these programs I've personally been a part of. I had the chance to work with higher achievement last year, and it was a really rewarding experience. Um, so without further ado, we're going to go through. We have a lot of really nice organizations. So in no particular order, we're going to start. We'll give each program kind of the opportunity to present themselves and present on their own behalf and kind of tell us a little bit about what you do and why you should be a mentor there. So in no particular, we're going to start with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Um, with the representative from Big Brothers Big Sisters. Hey Maggie,
Hello.
hey, do you feel comfortable sharing your screen?
Yeah, definitely. Give me just
Perfect.
a second.
Sounds good. Yep.
Okay, can you all see it? Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for that intro, Brian. I am here with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Wait, am I showing the one that is presenting or the
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. If you can see my notes, that's okay. You can read along as well. But I am super happy to be here with you all. I am the director of programs with Big Brothers Big Sisters. And our mission, probably like a lot of you all, is to ignite the power and promise of youth by creating and supporting one-to-one mentoring relationships. So I'll go on to the next slide here. Let me make sure it's moving along. So our agency specifically, you all might have heard of Big Brothers Big Sisters before. They are a national organization, but our local agency covers the greater Richmond area, so Richmond and surrounding counties, as well as the Tri-Cities area, the Virginia Peninsula, and Hampton Roads region. So we could be a really good option for folks that live in and around any of those areas. And we've been in this Richmond region for over 60 years. Next, I'm going to share some of the positive outcomes that youth that are in our program will often show. So usually we ask volunteers to commit to at least 1 year of service as a mentor, because after that is when we start to see a lot of the really good outcomes. So we see that littles who are matched in our program tend to have stronger family connections. They feel like they can succeed in school, and they feel like they have an adult they can turn to in their time of need. And this is just from really hanging out and just being a friend. So this isn't from a lot of, more structured tutoring experiences or anything like that. But we see that a lot of this just comes along the way with spending time with a young person and then receiving coaching and support from our staff as well. Next, I'm going to kind of go through a few different program offerings that we have at our local agencies. So the first one is community-based mentoring. This is available at all of our locations. This is about 6 to 9 hours per month. It's very flexible. I'm actually a community-based big myself, so I can speak to that. It does take a little bit more coordination. So in this case, you would be responsible for coordinating with the child's parent about when would be a good time to visit. You're also responsible for transporting the child and just kind of going on outings on your own in the community. But like I said, you'll have a lot of staff support for planning what you'd like to do together and making sure that if anything comes up, you definitely have the support from the agency. But there's a lot of flexibility in this case on what activities you'd like to do. So I know my little and I always like grabbing some food together. She's really been wanting to go swimming at the YMCA, visiting museums, all of those kinds of things. We also have a site-based mentoring program. So this is available right now in the Richmond and Tri-Cities areas. This is a really good choice if you have midday availability on weekdays, or if you can volunteer during your lunch break. This is just a once a week commitment for 1 hour each week, usually visiting their little during their lunch break, like I said, doing things that are a little bit different that you can do at school. So kind of different than the community-based program here. So lots of times these matches will play board games, work on art projects, or spend time on the playground together. Currently, we have partner sites within Richmond City Public Schools, Henrico County Schools, and Hopewell City Public Schools. And so these are for kids that are typically around like 2nd grade to 5th grade. And they can also potentially, if you meet your little in an elementary school site, you can transition to a community-based match once they go to middle school if you'd like to stick with the same kiddo. Next is a new program that we're launching, excuse me, in 2025. So this is our Big Futures program, which has a focus on our high school age group. So this is a lower time commitment than some of our other programs. It's just 2 to 3 hours per month. And this will be an opportunity to meet with juniors or seniors in high school and kind of support them as they navigate finding out what will be a really good option for their next steps. So things like supporting them as they build their first resume, hyping them up as they're getting ready for interviews, all of those kinds of things. So this is a really good match for mentors that maybe are further along in their career and can kind of share a variety of different career experiences with the mentee. And we are going to pilot that most likely this spring with a small group of mentors, and then we're rolling it out in full force this fall. So we're enrolling volunteers now so that when the fall semester starts, we can go ahead and match those kids quickly. And this is also our first adventure into a group mentoring structure. So it's possible that folks in this program could also be matched with 2 or 3 students if they're comfortable with that. And then lastly, we have our Sports Buddies program format, which right now is only available in the Virginia Peninsula. So typically these meetings are near Newport News or Hampton, Virginia. And this is something that we have implemented really to try to connect to male mentors. We have a lot of boys on our wait list for a male mentor, and that's kind of a target population that we have for recruiting. So I'm happy to say that we launched this last year, and 100% of our volunteers in this program are male, which is really exciting. That's not a requirement, but that's just what we've seen. So that is a big win. And this is just a once a month commitment. So we have a staff member that plans the sports activity that is there to secure the location and the materials and kind of help break the ice and make sure everyone is comfortable. And it's a really good option because matches get to interact with each other as well. So just a once a month commitment, like I said, and we're ramping up now to get ready for our 2025 season. So this was usually about 6 or 7 months of the year. In the warmer months, these matches are meeting, and then most of them are rolling over to future seasons as well. But a shorter time commitment in terms of the hours spent per month, and also just kind of the overall match can be a bit shorter as well. Excuse me, real quickly, I'll go over what you can expect for our volunteer enrollment process if you're interested in volunteering with us or just kind of learning more about what that looks like. So first, we have an online application where you'll tell us, your contact information, why you're interested in volunteering. Once we receive that from you, we'll send you a 6-minute orientation video that goes over some of the information I went over today, but also a little bit more in depth about what the mentoring experience will be like. Then we do have interview references and background checks. After you're accepted to the program, you'll also receive some trainings before you meet your little for the first time. So we'll teach you pre-match training, so you'll kind of learn what to expect when you first meet them. You'll get kind of an overview of specific program rules depending on which format you've selected. You'll also receive some training on trauma-informed care and LGBTQ awareness. And so these are all what you'll get before you meet your little for the first time. And then as you continue through your mentoring experience with us, there's also plenty of offerings related to local and virtual training opportunities. We have a national platform called the Learning Exchange. So if there's a specific topic that you're interested in talking to your little about, you can search courses on there. And then there's also ongoing case management and support by a staff member. So every big, little, and parent is consistently speaking to a BBBS staff member, so we can kind of coach and support through anything that might come up. And this is kind of my last call to action slide here. This QR code will take you to just our interest form. So it's pretty quick to just fill out your contact information, and we can kind of talk with you some more about our different program offerings. We also have some other volunteer opportunities like joining a committee, hosting a lunch and learn, helping spread the word for other recruitment opportunities, helping us to spread the word on social media. We have some toolkits and things like that. And then lastly, I have I guess I took it off. I think Brian has my contact information as well, and I can put it in the chat if anyone has specific questions.
Great. Now we're going to move forward. Thank you so much, Maggie. Now we're going to move forward with Art 180. Art 180. I believe that's Mecca.
Yeah.
Hey, Mecca, do you
Hey.
do you feel comfortable sharing your screen, or would you like me to?
If you could, because I haven't done that before.
Got it. Okay. No worries.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Sorry. This is the only format I can open it, I believe.
Okay. Hey, we'll work with.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna go with this.
We'll
Okay.
work with it. We'll work with it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Good evening, y'all. My name is Becca Harris, and I am the manager of outreach and engagement at Art 180, right off of Brook and Marshall. So maybe like a few paces from like Gallery 5, right there in the Arts District. And I'm just here to talk with y'all about who we are and some of the opportunities we'd love to connect with y'all with. So who we are an arts and community-based organization. And I'd like to think of us like as emergent. So we're very just, we meet things kind of like as they come, and we really appreciate the creative spirit and nurture like the creative spirit. So originally we were, really in tune with like the younger, like young people, providing like art programs at churches, community centers, Boys and Girls Club, things of that nature. But as we move into our Atlas building where we are now, we've been really intentional about working with teens specifically in that space, which is where, we would like the mentorship. Thank you. And then teens, and then we're also bridging into like multi-generational kind of like connections. And so some of the things that we do is all of our offerings are like free and open to like the community. So we offer teen workshops, and these can be like single day events. We offer multi-week intensive. So that'll be like programs that we have now. So we have like a zine making program, a sustainable arts and design kind of program, and then like a visual arts program. And so we offer these to teens, to young people for free. We also do paid teen residency. So kind of taking the concept of, in the summer teens want to get a job, and we know you want to make money, but also, you can invest in your art, and that can be like your summer job. We offer exhibitions, events, and a lot of this is like teens either helping facilitate or thinking about it, or like actually helping like to curate it. And so we've also opened up, plugged for Open Studios, which engages like 21 and up also. So those are some of the things that we do. If we can go on down a little bit. And a large part of like how we move, whether it be through staff, teaching artists, even volunteers and mentorship, we like to move from this holistic approach using these 5 guiding principles. So starting with like holistic health, so that can look like circle processes, really like checking in, building a solid foundation. Like before we get to all the activities, let's like check in, let's see how we're doing, let's have a real conversation, a real connection, so that what we do can be meaningful in this space. We're also into connecting, each other with ourselves. So like grounding, and then also being able to tap into like the community, whether that's the your peers that's in your your art program, but really leaning into like tapping into community, asking for what you need, things of that nature. Creative development, really fostering that creative and curious spirit. And then social entrepreneurship is where we bring in a lot of like the mentor. So knowing that you have access to, money, but also you have access to like people, you have access to support, you have access to like mentors or, individuals that you can kind of rely on and know that they are like leaning in your favor. And it's all of that brings us to like the peak, I guess, which is self-actualization. And we respect that comes in like many forms. So a lot of what we try to do is like meet the young people, meet artists, period, at various stages in the game. So whether you just getting started and you're using this as a creative outlet, or you're trying to make money, or you're really trying to like let off some steam and like cultivate this, we want to make sure that we have access and resources to wherever you are. And so how we do that is through teaching artists, but also through like mentorship. So my position, a lot of this is like cultivating individuals, whether that they be, maybe they have like merchandising experience, maybe they have entrepreneurial experience, or they just want to kind of like foster that creative spirit within themselves. I've learned from personal experience, like doing that with a young person or someone that's equally curious can like spark something new. So we are always looking for volunteers and mentors for like our workshops, but also to have like one-on-one mentorship. So, that can look like financial, if you are, abreast in like financial literacy or public speaking, all the things that go into kind of an individual wanting to make art their full-time thing. We're also looking for like Art 180 ambassadors. So if, the time commitment, and that's flexible, and I'll be the one that's still getting built up, but that's flexible, but I'll be the one you connect. But if that's too, like the time commitment is a lot, we're always looking for people to like rep Art 180, to pull up to our first Fridays and to our events, kick it with us, and then go back into their community and tell everybody about, the things that we are doing, to share in community with us, to, help us always, aim to be better. Obviously, where you see this QR code, there's supposed to be a QR code there, but I have it in my slide, but art180.org, it'll get you there. And that's where you can find opportunities where you can engage. You'll get my contact info, and I'll put that in the chat too. But also, again, really trying to foster the creative spirit in the adults too, because that we want to think of like the whole person, because creativity and art doesn't end with young people. So within like entering the spaces, like there's always mentorship and volunteer opportunities that are apparent. Yeah, and that's the thing. These are contact info. Also wanted to invite you to our first Friday, which is February the 7th. This will be a great way for you to kind of see the work we do, but also meet some of our teams. This will be actually curated, and the exhibition will be from the young people that were in our programs from September up into January. So this will be a good opportunity to kind of like check in, to learn more about us, to see the space, see the work we're doing. Our young people will actually be leading like some of the engagement or the workshops with art. So, again, always looking for individuals that'll help, them build their public speaking skills or, anything. So yeah, that was my spiel. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Mecca. All right, so now we're gonna move forward with, looks like Girls to Women. I believe that's Johanna. There we go. Nice.
Let me get myself off of mute as well. Hi, I'm Joanna Van Arsdal with Girls to Women of Virginia. We're a group mentoring program for teen girls, age 12 to 17 generally. We have community programs for 18 plus, but I am joined by my colleague Cedrica, who I haven't seen on here, but I understand she's in here.
I'm here.
Continue to share my screen. There she is. Share my screen, and she would like to kind of introduce you to our group, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the mentoring piece of that. So
Yeah, so my name is Cedrica. I'm the social media and marketing lead for Girls to Women, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our organization. You can go to the next slide.
Okay, except it's not going to the next slide. There we go.
So we are a nonprofit organization whose purpose is to provide group mentoring to girls aged 12 to 17, so middle and high school. We were founded in 2018 as the sister organization to Boys to Men, which is our brother organization, much larger than us. But over the years since 2018, we've grown tremendously, and I'll show you our timeline here shortly. But currently, we have circles in Chesterfield, the South Side region or the Tri-Cities area, and then we have one community circle currently that's also in Chesterfield, that we dedicate to our high school age girls who have aged out of our middle school school-based circles. Currently, our board has 10 women on it from various backgrounds. A lot of us are from social work backgrounds, counseling backgrounds, veteran service backgrounds, and of course, teaching backgrounds. But I think we all come together very well to form the backbone of Girls to Women. So the timeline here stops at 2022. But of course, like I said, got started in 2018 with just 6 circles, 25 girls, and 10 mentors. Currently, as of the 24-25 school year, we're at 11 circles, 140 girls, and 25 mentors. So things have really ramped up since we first got started, which I'm very happy about.
I'm getting there.
Um, Also, there have been changes to our mission and vision, just slight changes so we can better reflect what the purpose of our organization is. Our current mission statement is to empower girls to build strong relationships and connection through group mentoring, with the vision that we are able to create safe spaces in our world for girls to be their authentic and empowered selves. Our core values, we use the acronym DIRT, which doesn't sound that pretty, but I promise it is pretty when you look at what each of the letters in the acronym stand for. The D in DIRT stands for diversity. We try to be as inclusive as we can in terms of the population that we serve. And also, our board is very diverse in terms of, like I said, our background, and where we come from and the experiences that we have. The I in DIRT stands for integrity. We always try to be authentic, and hold ourselves accountable to creating these safe spaces like we want them to. When we do things wrong, we try to find ways to address them, and also within ourselves, because, of course, we offer these mentoring circles for the girls that we serve, but they're also for us, the mentors, because of course we have work to do and are trying to reach our empowered self as well. The R in DIRT stands for resilience. And I think we probably do this one the best because of this rapid growth that we've experienced, just persevering through all the changes that we've seen in our organization. And then the T stands for trust. Of course, that's just reliability, dependability, and safety, especially in our circles and with the relationship that our mentees have with our mentors. So the Girls to Women model is comprised of 3 components, which is, of course, our group mentoring circles. Um, the second part or the second component is community service. We try to implement community service into our model because it's just as we serve ourselves, it's also important to serve others, especially those who may not have what we have. And then the last part is recreational events. Some of the things that we have planned or done with our girls include rock climbing, which you see in the picture there. We've done pontoon boating. We've done outdoor rock climbing. Oh my gosh, whitewater rafting. All sorts of stuff we've done just to provide some fun to our girls as well, outside of the circles. And I think this is where I stop and Joanna picks up.
Thank you, Cedrica. So yeah, just to get to kind of the volume of people we serve and the location. We're all over Chesterfield. I feel like that was kind of where we started mostly, but we've definitely, we have a Southside coordinator now who is a paid position to get into Hopewell and Prince George and Colonial Heights. Our groups meet weekly through the school year, similar, I think, to Boys and Girls Club. But what we do a little different is we call it circles. We have 8 to 10 girls with 1 to 2 mentors. The mentors have been trained through our training program, and we do try to meet once a week. And it's usually about 45 minutes. The children that attend, the girls that attend, some of them have been referred by teachers, parents, and they're all there. It's a real mixture, but it's ends up being, you know, mentor led, but also peer led. So in that peer setting, they learn from each other. They learn to problem solve together. They share things they would never share with even their friends, you know, outside of the circle. So over the year, the girls really grow together and learn from each other. So, and then Cedrica mentioned the community circle that is in the evening at a library. But we follow something called the PIES curriculum. And I heard somebody else talk about checking in. At the beginning of every circle, we check in. At the end, we check out. But we ask the girls to say, how are you feeling physically? How are you feeling intellectually? How are you feeling emotionally and socially and spiritually? And that kind of gives us a feeling for how the girls are feeling that day. And maybe we will have activities, but if there's something big going on, we'll kind of redirect and help discuss and work through this, whatever's going on. So 8 to 10 girls, at least 2 mentors, age appropriate topics. We do have a mentor training manual. We have 2 levels of training, level 1, level 2. Level 1 is more of, you know, how to participate in a circle and just kind of what it looks like and in a group setting and peer-to-peer setting. And then level 2 is more kind of the educational background of it. Like we said, some trauma workshops and lots of different, it's 4 to 6 hours of training. I don't know how long, that was a question I had for somebody else, how long your training programs were. But of course, you're motivating, you're part teacher, you're part confident, you're part coach. That's what this one, I think people know why I become a mentor. We're all kind of here because we are mentors. We like to share, we like to help connect, we like to help train. So here are the requirements for girls to women. We like for people to be at least 21 years of age or older, working with this middle school group of girls, which is a challenging time in life. There's a level 1, level 2 training. We have policies and procedures. We have one of the founding members, Lynn, is the person that oversees the training, and she's your point of contact. Like I said, we have some coordinators for the different locations that are also kind of in between Lynn that you can reach out to. We have a mentor resource manual. Similar to everybody else, there's an application online. We do a background check, driving record check, and the time commitment is 6 to 8 hours a month. What that looks like is, for example, I'm a mentor for a Goochland Middle School. We meet like 1:30 to 2:15 every Tuesday. So I'm there. So the 6 to 8 hours is, you know, travel time there and back, you know, putting together activities. So here's our QR code. That will take you to the website. There's a lot of information there, but also on there, there's some brochures you can download. There's a sign up as well. So I guess we'll take questions at the end. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the next.
Thank you, Girls to Women. We're gonna move on to providing victory. Providing victory. I believe that's Sherelle. Would you like to? I can't hear you. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, great.
Okay. I believe I can share my screen. Right. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sherelle Washington, and I'm the founder of Providing Victory. Disclaimer, this is a newly formed organization, so there's not a lot of data. I loved all your presentations, but mine won't be as detailed. But next time, we're going to grow. But I want to share a little bit more about Providing Victory and everything that it represents. So Providing Victory has a long title. I was very intentional when I created this organization with naming it. The goal is to provide various individualized, creative, thoughtful opportunities relevant to you. Currently, it's focused on the youth as well as some adults, and I'll get into that later. But eventually, I want to be able to grow it where everyone feels like they have a voice and can be assisted through this organization. So, as I said, there are two different elements. We do seek out mentors. I work in Chester, Virginia as a school social worker. So I kind of wanted to give our fifth grade students something to look forward to as they transition to middle school. So we match each student enrolled in the program with a trusted adult in the community who they can learn from and grow with. And they are given surveys to complete, both the mentors and the mentees, so we can make sure we match them appropriately based on their needs. And then outside of the school setting, I also provide therapy with different coping skills for the youth as well as adults. So these are some of my babies and some of the mentoring activities that we have done. Like I said, this is only the second year of me doing the program within one of my schools, but we work through goal setting. We do vision boards. As you can see in the top right corner, we had all the students kind of come together, make a vision board. We do holiday activities like this past December. We made gingerbread houses. We played holiday games. We also do service activities. We did one for the community and one for the school level. So in the bottom right-hand corner, that's a picture of them giving writing letters to thank our custodial staff. So they walked around the school and handed out letters to them. And then they voted on doing a service project where we collected toys and gifts for those kids hospitalized at Children's Hospital. So very intentional about everything we do in this organization, and the kids, they love it. Every time they see me, is my mentor coming this week? When are they coming? So they really enjoy that activity. So as you all know, because we're all in the same field, we know that all kids don't have a trusted adult in their lives that they can really rely on and talk to. So we want to create a safe space for those students to have someone outside of the home and even outside of the school that they feel supported by and they can rely on. And the cool thing about the mentor program at my school is a very easy commitment. We typically only expect one official time period where all the mentors come together and hang out with their mentees, and then it's optional when the mentor comes for the second time that month. So we have some that just come randomly to have lunch with their mentees, and the kids are just excited about it compared to the group sessions. They like that one-on-one attention. So we are definitely in need of mentors for the 2025-26 school year. So that's kind of where we are. The only requirement is you be 18 and up, and Chesterfield County Public Schools has to run a background check. And that's just the organization in a nutshell. Like I said, we're new, but we hope to grow. And this is the QR code if anybody is interested in being involved. Short and sweet, that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Sherelle. Also good luck because you just started off, so good luck. Good luck in the years coming.
Thanks, I need it.
Yeah. Nice. All right, so we're gonna move forward with higher achievement.
Awesome. Hello.
Hey, Ronnie,
Yeah.
would you like me to present for you or?
Yeah, that'll work.
Perfect. All right, I can do that. Let's see. All right, this is also a PDF. we're gonna work with it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ronnie Davis. I get to serve as the Director of Program Operations for Higher Achievement. We are a middle school, after school, or outer school time program in Richmond Public Schools. Brian, you can scroll on down for me. And so I'll talk a little bit about the gaps and give you some stats, give a little overview of higher achievement, and then talk about how you can get involved if you're interested. And I know it says time for questions, but I know we have time for questions for all of us at the end. So I'll yield my time. Scroll on down for me, please. You can continue to scroll. So higher achievement, our core principles are scholar centricity. We believe that our scholars are at the core of everything that we do. Racial equity, voice and inclusion, power of community, and striving for greatness. We leverage the power of the communities that we serve, knowing that there may not be opportunities. There may not be opportunities for them, but there's also talent within our communities. And so we provide rigorous learning environments with caring role models and a culture of high expectations, resulting in college-bound students with character, confidence, and skills to succeed. You can scroll, sorry. And here are some of our stats. We know that we celebrate the rise of SOL scores within Richmond Public Schools, but with the results from VDOE showing that, for example, at our school at Henderson Middle School, 81% of white students passed their reading SOLs, while only 30% of African American students were able to pass. Also knowing that 35% of African American fifth graders with high math performances are enrolled in Algebra 1 by the eighth grade, compared to 60% of their high performing white peers. And also noting that 1 in 7 African American students begin college at a public or a private 4-year nonprofit research institution, where it's 1 in 4 for white students. And so understanding that there is an opportunity gap right here in Richmond amongst our students, and looking to address that with what we do. You can scroll down for me. And so again, we believe that the talent is everywhere. Our scholars, our families have the talent, but the opportunities to succeed aren't always there. And so every 26 seconds, a student drops out of high school. 50% of these students drop out in 9th grade. Thinking about that, no, you can scroll down, sorry. That was the thinking about that. It takes that we know that middle school is the last best chance to get on track for college. So knowing that those students in the 9th grade may drop out, middle school is that last chance. And so here are some more of our facts or our stats, knowing that students of color in the Richmond region are already behind. And you can scroll down some more, because the pandemic definitely had an impact on all of us. And so higher achievement works in underserved communities to equip our 6th through 8th graders with confidence and skills to become engaged citizens to succeed in high school and college and life. And so we work with 6th and 8th graders year round in different capacities to give that confidence and skills to be greater. Our scholars defy odds. So 89% of higher achievement Richmond scholars graduate high school on time within 4 years. And our program model. So I said year-round impact because September to May, we have what's called our after-school academy, where students receive learning blocks, which is homework and academic skill building, a healthy meal, and a curriculum-based mentoring component. As well as summer, June to August, there's an opportunity for scholar meetings and family engagement, as well as a free college tour. So putting them in the environment that we will see them in the future. And then we do high school placement. So understanding that that last chance before they drop out of high school, knowing that if they also are on track for college, that it is best to have them to apply to some tier one or college bound high schools in Richmond. And so we support all of our scholars in those processes as eighth grade students. Could scroll on down for me. And so, who are our scholars? Higher Achievement is a national organization. We say national because we're in Baltimore, D.C., Prince George's County, Alexandria, and in Richmond. And in Richmond, we are in, you can scroll down again. Oh, in Richmond, we are in Bouchard Middle School, Henderson Middle School, and Dogwood, formerly known as Benford Middle School. So, how do you get involved? So we are looking for mentors. The commitment for mentors is 1 night per week for up to 2 hours with 3 scholars. So that 1, 2, and 3. Volunteers have a mentoring time with students with using our curriculum to support a small group of students once a night during the school time, September to May. Can scroll down again. And so again, here are 3 schools. We like to say that we're positioned greatly in the city on both sides of the river and then right in the middle. So we're in Henderson, which is in the north side, Thomas Bouchard, which is in the south side, and then right there in the Fan area at Dogwood Middle School. And expectations for mentors, September to May, we don't operate on holidays or during school breaks. Weekly in person, 1 night for 1 to 2 hours. Before you start, that one time before you start, we ask that all of our mentors have a background check, a brief mandatory reporter training, and screening during an interview to see if you're a great fit and who you're a great fit to mentor. There's also ongoing support with training and our guided curriculum. There's peer support sessions and on-site support as well. And then there are opportunities to engage with our school students at school events, community connection, family relationships, joining us on some of those college trips as well. And so here's our QR code. If you're interested, next steps, applying online to become a weekly mentor. I'll tell you guys, as we are looking to bring on more students at our Bouchard site, we are definitely looking to ramp up our mentors as well. And so if you're interested, you can apply for our current 2024-2025 school year by using this QR code. The next slide also has my information if you're interested in finding out more information about us as well. Cite the next slide. This one has my information, as well as our mentor and volunteer manager, Chloe Bailey, if you are interested in gaining any more information. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ronnie. That was great. Actually, it's so funny. I actually recognize one of those kids at the very end. That's awesome. Great. Well, we have one more organization left. Last but not least, Visual Arts Center. Do we have the Visual Arts Center here? Awesome. Hey, Liana. Do you feel comfortable presenting on your own?
I
Or-
sure do.
Perfect.
Well, this is good that I'm going at the end because I have a silly, fun video to show you guys.
Great. Go for it.
So I'm Liana, I'm the Community Programs Manager at Visual Arts Center. I run all of our programs that are free for community members, including programs like for seniors, veterans, folks with disabilities, and then our Make Space mentorship program, as well as our Art After School program. Those are the 2 opportunities that we have for volunteers to get involved with working with youth in our organization. Art After School is more in a volunteer capacity where you're working with a classroom of kids and assisting the teacher and working with a group of up to 10 students in different art mediums. If you've never been to the Visual Arts Center before, we are right on Main Street, close to VCU. And we have 17 different professional art studios. So we do everything from woodworking to painting, glass, lots of ceramics, everything that you can imagine in the art world. And we really want kids to get a chance to be really hands-on, express their creativity, and also kind of overcome challenges and using art as a vehicle to prove to yourself that you can do things you didn't think you could do. Our Make Space mentorship program is our main program that we are looking for volunteers for. It's a year-long program split into two different cohorts. So we have a fall cohort and a spring cohort. And we work specifically with one school. So we work with Anna Julia Cooper School in the East End of Richmond. I don't know if y'all are familiar. And we have been working with them for over 12 years. So we take every sixth grade class that comes to Anna Julia Cooper School and we match all the girls in the class. So this year it's 19 girls, all sixth grade, ages 11 to 12. One-on-one with a female mentor from the community. And they come to VisArts, and each week we do a different art-inspired project with a different led by a different artist in a different studio, different mediums each week, and all of our artists. We try to really encourage artists and women of color to come and work with our students to better represent the community that we work with. And so we have two program leaders. We have Franchelle Mack Brown and Lizzie Brown, who are two really wonderful artists in the community. They're also teachers at VisArts. They're the leaders for this program, and then I'm kind of on the back end helping to manage all of the logistics, as many as of you are. So what I wanted to show you all is actually a video about our program, but it's meant to get the sixth grade girls excited about the program. So you have to kind of put yourself in the mindset of being 11 or 12 years old and your school is saying like, hey, we have this program that you're going to be a part of. Every sixth grader is a part of this program each year. It's a really cool special thing that it kind of gets passed down from class to class. So like the eighth graders have done the program, the seventh graders have done the program. A lot of times we have sisters, multiple siblings that have done the program before. So since we've been working with them for so long, it's really nice that we have a legacy with that school. If you've never been to Anna Julia Cooper, it's just a really supportive, warm, and loving environment, and the kids are great. So same with the faculty. So I'm going to show you all a little video. It gets the gist of how we introduce the girls to the program. It also shows some images of some of the projects we do, and it also kind of touches on, the meaning behind the program, right? What the girls are hoping to get out of it, what the adults are hoping to get out of it, but kind of prepping the girls for that experience of having this new person in their life that's there to support them, as many of all your programs do wonderfully. So hope you don't mind if I switch it up again. Maybe a little silly, but it's meant to be fun, right? Music could definitely use an update. I'm going to share my screen. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'm going to go just like a couple minutes if that sounds good. You guys can hear it okay that time?
Yeah.
You never go wrong with a Bruno Mars song.
Nothing wrong, right? Okay. I just want to make sure you can hear me okay. So you can kind of see, the intention there is that we're getting the girls excited about the program, right? Because they're the main focus of what all the work that we do, right? We want the girls to be to be interested in the program, to be able to with Viz Arts and Anna Julia Cooper, it's almost like it's a part of their curriculum, right? Where some of your programs, students might sign up in other ways. But all of the girls in sixth grade come to Viz Arts for Make Space kind of just after school. Like that's just like a part of their curriculum. And so some kids are like really excited because they're super artistic, and some kids might be a little bit more hesitant because maybe art is not their thing, right? But the cool thing about this program is we're really using art as a vehicle to build relationships, right? So the nice thing about Make Space is that it's very structured, right? The participants, both mentors and mentees, don't have to come up with the activity that they're doing for the day. When they get there, we get there at 3:30. The kids and the adults eat snack together. We kind of go over the schedule of the day. And then they're going to go off to a different studio and work with one of our women artists, and they're going to introduce a new medium to them, right? And they're going to do step-by-step instructions, just like Viz Arts would do with any other class, but we're doing it all together in one big group. So it's nice because the mentors get a chance and mentees get a chance to be in one big cohort all together, but then also have these individual relationships form as they do the project together in pairs. So we do a lot of work specifically in pairs, but then we do a lot of group work as well. We also fold in what we call girl talk curriculum. So that's kind of spending time to talk more about social emotional skills that some of the other organizations have also kind of hit on. Things that are really relevant to sixth grade girls in this developmental stage that they're at, problems that they might be having, right? We build in time to have these more structured conversations, but then also a lot of that just comes up naturally through, sitting side by side and doing something together, right? And that thing that we're using as the vehicle for conversation and for relationship building is art. We try and pick some kind of challenging mediums, things that really require like teamwork and working together, communication. So they're woodworking, they're learning to use a sewing machine for the first time. We're doing glass fusing. We're using some equipment that they might not traditionally get to use at their school. Even though they have a wonderful arts program there, it's really also meant to kind of supplement that as well, and also step up maybe some of the things that they've been used to and create a little bit of a challenge that they have to overcome together. So all the information about MakeSpace, we started in 2008, and all that info is up on our website. That's kind of where we keep all of our applications. We're in the middle of our year this year, so we already have our spring cohort. They're getting ready to get started. In 2 weeks from now, our fall cohort is wrapping up. We have a closing ceremony at the end of fall, which is sort of like a graduation ceremony where we have an art show. So all of the artwork that the girls and mentors make together goes into their bedroom at the end of the year. So we'll have an art show at Viz Arts, and we'll decorate a whole room with each student and their mentors' work from the year. We invite parents and families to come and celebrate all the hard work that they've done together, and then also get a chance to spend some time together. And we kind of do sort of like a graduation ceremony where everyone gets up and does a little kind of speech about what their experience that year and enjoying their time together. So we make a big point to create kind of an ending to each session, have closure, and then also for the pairs to decide on their own whether or not they want to continue that relationship or not. So we have a lot of conversations and trainings throughout the year with Mentor Virginia. So we start off our year with a training for mentors. We use the Mentor Virginia New Mentor Training. We also have an orientation that's kind of goes over Viz Arts' own policies and procedures. And then throughout the year, we also have other organizations such as SCAN talk about trauma-informed care, and other outside organizations that will come in and help prep the mentors once a month on different topics so that they feel prepared to work with sixth graders. And then I'm trying to think of what else I have missed. Let me see. Oh, on our website, it's kind of everything that you need to sign. Well, I'm doing a great job here, guys. To sign up. The commitment is a half a school year. We take regular breaks just like most other organizations. They are not on a Richmond Public Schools schedule. They're on a slightly different private school schedule, so that changes a little bit for the calendar, but not too much. The commitment for the fall would be October through January. The commitment for the spring would be February through May. And that's once a week, every Thursday from 3:30 to 6:30. We also make time for the mentors to be able to get together after the girls leave each night, so that they can kind of talk to each other as a group, build community within each other, and get a chance to bounce ideas off of each other, right? Talk to each other about how their night's been going, how their relationship is going, right? Whether they need some support from the program leaders, maybe to help solve a problem, whether they just want to share about something wonderful that happened that night, or a success that or some strength that they experienced through that night that they want to share. So we do a lot of, again, the program's really structured and you're very supported throughout the whole mentorship program, which is really nice. Trying to think of if there's anything else y'all need to know. No questions? We'll do questions at the end, I guess.
Yep. Actually, speaking of questions, first off, I want to thank all the organizations, Girls to Women, Art 180, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Providing Victory, Higher Achievement, and the Visual Arts Center for presenting. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. And yeah, so on that note, we're gonna take questions for anyone who's here who has questions about these organizations. We'll just kind of open the floor. And oh yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna start maybe last and then go first. I think, Leanna, did you say you had outside organizations come in and help with training? And if so, who are they?
Yeah, so it changes year to year. What I like to do, part of my job as a program manager is that I'm kind of working with the program leaders to assess that individual group of participants, right? And kind of talk to them about what they think could be most useful for the program that year. We have kind of a general structure of our trainings that we like to choose from, but a lot of times I will adjust based off of like, what's happening in that group, right? So we always have our own training that's provided by Visual Arts Center first, which is our original orientation and training. Then we have Mentor Virginia come in and do their new mentor training. A lot of times I'll have Mentor Virginia come back and do a second training that's a little bit has more like a kind of skill based. And maybe you all can help me remind me what that there's like another one, a second one. Shoot, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but wonderful Mentor Virginia has a whole list, a whole menu of different programs. We have had in the past individuals from other organizations. So Ashley Williams used to actually, I think she worked for Mentor Virginia at some period of time, but she now has her own organization called Bare Soul Yoga, and she does a really wonderful kind of like mindfulness workshop with the girls. She also does a really wonderful closure training. So talking to the mentors about whether or not they want to continue or not continue their relationship together. She was a school social worker and then also did a lot of work within school systems and leading mentorship programs. So she was really awesome. Scan has done a bunch of our trainings before. And then we were working with a professor at VCU has kind of helped us to create a lot of the framework of our program too. And I'm happy to pass her info on if anyone would like that. It's specifically on girl-centric programming.
I like that.
Great. Any questions from prospective mentors?
I have a question. So with my schedule, I can't always commit to being somewhere once a week at a certain time, or sometimes I can't make it during lunch, but I could make it in the evening. So do any of you have ways to help out that wouldn't require actually being in a physical location at a set time like that? Or if not a one-on-one mentoring opportunity, do you have ways that we could assist your organization?
I could share. So, one of the things that we do, we work with our eighth graders, preparing them for their interview and essays for high schools. And so twice a year, we have what we call our essay and interview practice day, which essentially is a time for them to practice writing essays and interviewing with people that they don't know, because that's what they'll do as they walk in for that application. And so those 2 times, one is during the summer, and one we actually just had it last Thursday, which is right before their interviews and their essays. And so those are 2 times through the year. That's not as big of a commitment. It's actually just once or twice during the year altogether.
That's great. Thank you. So, and actually, I had written down for Art 180 during your presentation, you mentioned that there were different things that required some volunteer assistance that wasn't specifically getting, I don't want to start a relationship with a young person if I can't commit to always being there every week. But you had mentioned that there were different things at Art 180 that would fit that sort of flexibility.
Yeah, so definitely always could use help with like in the beginning of like events, we work with young people to like curate, set up the actual space, but also there's like one-on-one like workshop or just like a one-time workshop that we also do, but also looking for maybe I don't know what particular like field or even like lived experience that you have, but like having, like an hour, 2 hours to come in and kind of like rap with the teens about that. We have a big supply closet, so we can always fold in some like the creative part to it. But yeah, really just trying to hammer in on like lived experience, any kind of experience, just again building relationships with community.
Thank you.
I was trying to figure out how to raise my hand and it's buried somewhere in my reactions. But for Big Brothers Big Sisters, we are also similarly, I think if you're not able to make the commitment of being a mentor, we do have our community-based program where it's a little less structured. So I will just text my little's mom, like, hey, I can't do this week, I'm out of town. What about, next Tuesday in the evening? So that's kind of something that we assess through our enrollment process. And if you have a schedule that will be kind of variable, we'll be sure to make sure it's a family that will be cool with that. So that could still be an option if you're able to just kind of gauge week by week, as long as you can meet at least twice a month would be like the minimum that we would hope for that option. But we're also always trying to just spread the word. So I'm sure a lot of our organizations, even just, talking to your friends or colleagues, let them know about these opportunities. If there's a chance to like present at a workplace or a club or a sports team, I think just kind of being like the connector to help us spread the word to other people who might be able to make the commitment to mentoring would still be really helpful.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
Go ahead. I think, yep, there you go. Yep.
I figured out how to raise my hand too. And this is a question for Maggie. Something we have kind of an issue with is transportation. You said, you're responsible for transporting your child. I don't know if you have the answer to this, but how have you managed the liability for that? And maybe there's somebody I can talk to about it, but.
Yeah, I can definitely send you, I'll put my email in the chat if you want to see. I can send over some of the stuff that we have in terms of like policy and structural things. Luckily, since we are national, they have some guidelines on like what needs to be in place that we can kind of cover in terms of insurance and everything. But I will say for all of our community-based volunteers that are transporting littles, they do a DMV check as part of their background check. And then we have to have on file their auto insurance and like driver's license. So those are kind of like the admin things that need to happen at the beginning. And then I can kind of share like our policy around transporting kids too.
That'd be great. Thank you. I was just going to say, we, for Girls to Women, we have community events and volunteer events. Thank you, Maggie. That we could use volunteers for. We have fundraising events. I'm sure everybody probably does, but we had like an event at Top Golf where we had a great turnout. The girls came with their families and siblings and other, fantastic turnout. So we also have kind of event-based things where you could use mentors in addition to the weekly mentoring. And I know it is a commitment. And, we like to ask people, do you live near this middle school? If you live near there, possibly you work from home or whatever, that might make it easier for people to volunteer. But, and then we are actually, our need is looking for City of Richmond mentors. We've had requests from the East End. We have people email us all the time asking to start a circle at their school, but, we've got to provide the training, do the background checks, make sure it's something they can get to weekly during the school year. But so I just want to throw that out there for Girls to Women.
Great. So I'm going to leave the floor open for maybe one or two more questions, maybe mentor related or for anyone lingering questions. Emma? Oh, sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, Joanna, about Girls to Women. I know you kind of just mentioned this, but maybe we can connect offline. I have a friend who works at River City Middle who's like trying to get some more mentorship there, but I definitely could see like Girls to Women, Boys to Men kind of being a good fit. Like maybe we could connect. Or anyone else who's working in the middle schools and looking to expand, like definitely can connect on that as well.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone for coming and talking about your programs. It's really awesome to see all the good work that's being done in the community and all the commitment that you all are showing, and really super awesome. So thanks all for being here.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have everybody's email?
I do have everyone's email. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if everybody else is interested, just so at least it's all in one place. I know I can like go back there and find.
Yeah. So I was actually going to say that. Before we go, really quick, if there's not any more questions, I want to thank everyone for your time. It's really nice. And if you do have any questions after this, feel free to reach out. I know everyone's email. I've sent enough emails to know everyone's name now. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And yeah,